Hey guys, it's prediction time, and for this video I'm going to be predicting my final league standings for the English Premier League this coming season, which is only a week away now. Well, just less than a week away anyway. I'm also going to predict the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League and the Champions League. So, for the bottom three, the relegation zone, that place that no one wants to be at all, ever. Never. But unfortunately, 3 teams have to finish there. So this is what I'm going to predict for those. In 20th, I'm going to go with Cardiff City. I feel Neil Warnock has done a fantastic job getting Cardiff promoted into the Premier League. He hasn't obviously had as much money to spend as some of the other teams have, like Wolves as a prime example. So I think they're going to find it extremely tough. And unfortunately for them, I think they probably will finish 20th position. 19th, I'm going to go with Fulham. Bit of a tough one really, because they have made some really good signings in the transfer window, but I just think they're going to find it just as tough as Cardiff will, and unfortunately for them, I believe they will go down. In 18th then, I believe this will be Southampton. I think they, from last season, they had a really tough time of it and only just survived. So I think this season isn't going to get much better for them, and I think they're actually going to go down this season. So we should wait and see with the bottom 3, but I believe those 3 teams will go down this season. And now for 17th, we're going to go with Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield got enough about them just to stay up. So I think they will just survive again for another season. 16th, I'm going to go with Newcastle United. I think they're going to have a real difficult season, especially with the frustrations of the summer transfer window for them. I believe that Rafa would have wanted to be able to sign more players than he actually has. So I think it's going to be a difficult season for them. In 15th, it's going to be my beloved Brighton Hove Albion. Come on, boys! Hopefully we can have just as good a season as we did last and stay up for another season in the Premier League. Simple as that, really. 14th, we're going to go with Watford. Just Watford. 13th, as difficult as it is for me to say this, I'm going to go with Crystal Palace. I'd love to see him go down. But, you know, with the other teams that are around them, I think they're going to be just fine if they can hang on to Zaha. 12th, we're going to go with Bournemouth, followed by 11th with Leicester City. And then in 10th, we're going to go with Wolves. I think Wolves have got enough about them, especially with the signings that they've made this season, to really push on in the Premier League and have a really good season back in the Premier League. I know some people have their doubts about how genuine their signings are and how they've come about. But if this was happening to your club and you were bringing in the type of quality players that they've been able to bring in, especially being promoted from the Championship, you wouldn't really complain either. 9th, we're going to go with Burnley. I think Burnley had a wonderful season last season, and I think they're going to be just as well to finish in the top 10 this season. In 8th, I believe it will be West Ham. I think with the signings that they've made and the new manager they've got in place, I think they will have a much better season than they did last season. And I think every West Ham fan will be relieved to see the team do much better this season. In 7th, we're going to go with Everton. I think Everton also are going to have a better season than they did last season. And I think they're really going to push the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs for that top 6. And yeah, so that's my predictions from 17th to 7th. And obviously the next bit. And now for the top 6. The top 6 has got to be one of the hardest things to predict. Any of these teams could win the league. Any of these teams could finish top 4. And any of these teams could finish 6th, which I think for them would be a really bad season. So anyway, this is my top 6. So in 6th, we're going to go with Arsenal, with a new manager in charge. This could be a really intriguing season for all the Arsenal fans. It could be a hit, it could be a miss, it could be anything. They just really genuinely don't know. I just hope that the fans stand by the manager and give him a genuine chance to put his stint on the team, especially in his first season. In 5th, we're going to go with Chelsea. I think Chelsea, if they can hang on to Hazard, would have done really well to keep hold of him. I think, you know, it wouldn't have surprised me if he left for a big money move to Real Madrid, but that doesn't look like it's happening now, as it stands. But if they can keep hold of him, they can be up there with any of the other teams around them. But yeah, I think they just won't have enough to finish top 4. In 4th, we're going to go with Spurs. I think even with the lack of signings, I think Spurs are still a wonderful team. And I think Harry Kane is on the top of his powers right now. So I think Spurs will be up there. And they will comfortably qualify for a Champions League spot. 3rd, I'm going to go with Manchester United. I think a lot of Man United fans would have been frustrated with the summer in the sense of signings. Obviously, Fred was a good signing for them. But I do believe that, and speaking to a couple of mates who are Man United fans, they feel frustrated with the lack of more big-name signings. And obviously, with the Premier League only less than a week away, it's not looking like they're going to sign anymore. So, hopefully they've got enough quality about them to do well for a top 4 finish. Could they challenge City? Probably not, but we could easily be wrong. But I think United will be finishing 3rd this season. In 2nd, I'm going to go with Liverpool. I think Liverpool had a wonderful season last season, and I think with their attacking style of football, I think they're really going to push City more this season in the chase for the title. I think they're going to just fall short, but I think they will really, really challenge City for the title for sure. And then top, I think Manchester City. Manchester City, the squad that they have, the players that they have, obviously the manager that they have, they're just so strong at the moment. I just can't see any other team winning the league. I just think they're going to dominate again. Yes, I think Liverpool will challenge them, but I still think City will come up on top. Not by the margin that they won the Premier League last year. However, I think it'd be a decent margin. But so that's my league standings. And now we're obviously going to do all the cup competitions. And now for the cup competitions and the European competitions. The League Cup, we're going to go for Liverpool. I believe that they're going to be more than ever desperate to get their hands on some silverware. With the disappointment of the last few finals that they've been in, Jurgen Klopp is going to be more determined than ever to get his hand on silverware. So as well as the title push, I do believe that they're going to win one of the cups. And I've decided for my prediction that I'm going to go with the League Cup for Liverpool. The FA Cup, I'm going to go with Manchester City, which means they will do the double this season. I just think they're going to be so strong and they're going to be pushing more than ever to possibly win every single cup competition. But I do believe they will do the double. The Europa League, I've picked Sevilla. Obviously, with all the qualification games going on as we speak, you can't necessarily do a proper prediction and the groups have not been drawn yet. So I've just gone with Sevilla for that one. And the Champions League, the mother of all European competitions. For me, Paris Saint-Germain. I think they've got a good enough world-class squad to really push this season to get to the final of the Champions League and possibly win it. I think they've got more about them to possibly do this. And so that's it. Those are all my predictions for the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League and the Champions League. What we'll do, we'll review this video at the end of the season and see how badly we did. So we shall wait and see. What's your predictions? Who do you think is going to win the league? Who do you think is going to win all the cup competitions? The Champions League and that Mickey Mouse tournament, the Europa League. If you've come across this channel and you like what you hear, please subscribe and comment away with your predictions and what you think the season is going to bring for your team. Anyway, that'll do for now. Cheers.